Hi, Caroline Owen here. I wanted to share with you a little movement yoga break. If you're like me, you've probably been spending more time sitting in the last year or so, maybe than you're used to. And I know I'm feeling the effect of being a little less mobile. So I try to take breaks regularly when I'm sitting at my desk and do a little movement for my spine. The spine's the central core of our structure, and often when we're sitting, we're slumped back a little bit. And so the spine is curved in an unnatural way, and the weight rests more on the tailbone than the sit bones. And then what happens is the spine gets jammed up. And when the spine is out of alignment or the spine is jammed up, it saps our energy and vitality. So sitting at your desk, if you set a little alarm every half hour, every hour, take 2 to 5 minutes and move your body. Really, any movement is great, but I'm going to show you a really short series that you can do that moves the spine in all of the directions that it naturally moves and coordinates with the breath to help kind of vitalize the system. So you can follow along with me if you like. So we'll start with the hands on the knees. And you can be in any kind of chair that's comfortable for you. And working with this forward and back motion. So inhale, a little arch in the back, and you want to be careful not to throw your head back, but keep it nicely in line with your spine. And then exhale, round, and stretch out the back a little bit. And then inhale, extend, exhale, rounding. And you might find it's helpful if you move towards the front of your chair a little bit so that your back is more free and then you have more room for movement. So just a really simple forward and back movement. You can coordinate the breath, inhaling as you extend, exhaling as you flex the spine. If coordinating the breath is not comfortable for you, just do the movement. Coordinating the breath brings it more into that realm of focus, mindfulness. Great, and then when we've done that a few times, you can come back to a neutral spine and try lifting the arms. And you might want to bend the elbows. Lifting them straight up sometimes can create a strain. You can bend the elbows. And again, find that little extension, a little lift in the heart. And then as you exhale this time, you can let your body hinge forward from the hips. Inhaling, lifting up. Exhaling, letting the pelvis tilt now as we come forward. And if you like, if you feel good in this position, you could stay either hands or placing your forearms on your thighs, letting your head release, even doing some micro movements side to side or just little circles or half circles, releasing the neck a little here, as long as that feels good for you. Remembering never to engage in any movement that's painful, or if you're not sure, when in doubt, I would say to skip a movement if it's at all uncomfortable or painful. When you're ready, you can come back upright, and then we'll work with a gentle twist of the spine. So one of the other ways that the spine moves. And so again, we can bring the arms up into this position, taking a breath in, and then taking both hands to one side. You can, if you have an arm on your chair, you can use the arm to place one hand. The other hand can be on the thigh there as you go to the side. So you want to bring the hands to the side, and very little leverage. You're not trying to force yourself into the twist, just holding yourself in a more upright position as you turn. And then you'll inhale, come back to center, exhale, and twist the other way. And you can continue the direction of the twist by taking your head and gently moving it in the same direction as your torso. Again, after you've done this a few times, feel free to stay for a few breaths. It's not important to twist the spine as much as you can. In fact, it's important to really honor the spine, go to a very gentle twist, and then think about lengthening. If you've stayed on one side, you might want to create evenness by staying on the other side. Again, you're looking behind you. And then eventually you'll come back to the center. And I always like to rebalance my spine in that forward and back movement after doing a twist or a side bend, just to bring everything back to neutral before I move into the next exercise. So again, you can bring your hands onto your knees and arch with a breath in, round as you exhale. It's important to keep breathing, but it's not important to coordinate the breath with the movement unless that feels really comfortable for you. But it can be a distraction, but it can also be a way of setting your intention and mindfulness in one place. Okay, once the spine feels balanced and neutral again, we can move into a side bend, which is the other way that the spine moves naturally. So I like to do one side at a time here, but you can alternate side to side if you like. So I'll place one hand on the seat of the chair, or if you're on the floor, it could be the floor or the arm of the chair. And then the other arm lifts up, and you can keep that arm a little bent or a little straighter, and you're going to lengthen the spine as you breathe in, and then exhale and reach over to one side. As you come up, you can either leave the arm up or you can bring it down each time and reach to the side. Again, you have the option to keep moving dynamically if that feels best for you, or you can stay for a few breaths. So reaching over, and again, thinking more about length in the spine than going as far as you can to the side. You're not trying to reach the floor, but really more so trying to reach the ceiling. Okay. After a few breaths there, you can return back to neutral, and then we'll try the other side. So you can use your hand, the lower hand, to brace yourself using the seat of the chair, the floor, or a desk if it's handy. You're going to lengthen and lift with a breath in, and then exhale to the side. So you can either leave the arm up as you go side to side, or especially if there's any kind of strain in the shoulder, you might bring it down and maybe just lift it a little as you go to the side. So please feel free to modify in the way that works best for you today. And again, you can choose to stay for a few breaths on the last time if that's good for you, or just keep on moving if that feels better. And then when we come back to the center, again, we're going to rebalance the spine so that it's back in alignment after the side bend. So again, we can either repeat that cat-cow movement, or if you like the forward bend, lifting the arms and coming forward as we did earlier, you can repeat that movement. So you lift up with the breath in, come forward with an exhale, and repeat that as many times as feels good for you. When you feel aligned again, you feel like you've come back to alignment in your spine after the twist and the side bend. You can find a nice tall seated position. Again, I recommend being away from the back of your chair. And so you're sitting on your sit bones towards the edge of your chair, and take a moment to feel those pressure points, the two bones at the bottom of your pelvis, if you're able to feel them. It's not always possible, but you still feel that pressure on your bottom, and dropping into that support, while at the same time feeling a lifting and a lightness as much as possible through the upper body. You can take a few breaths here to reestablish your posture. So here the shoulders are over the hips and the head is over the shoulders. So when we're working on the computer, we're often like this, head forward, puts a ton of strain on the neck. So when you do your yoga break, always come at the end to this alignment of posture. If you have a mirror, you can check it out there as well. And then from there, going back into your work with maybe a little more energy, a little more vitality. I'd love to hear how this went for you, if it helped you to have a little more energy when you're working at your desk. And you can do this yoga break every hour, every half hour, once a day, once a week, whatever works for you. But I hope that you find it helpful in restoring vitality when you're stuck inside working at a desk or sitting. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.